Hello, beautiful people. I'm Jennifer Kenny, and this video is about how to lead innovation. In a nutshell, you're not the genius, you're the conductor. So let's talk about what I mean by that. If you feel pressure to have the big idea and how to make innovation happen in your organization, then you've come to the right place. Real innovation leaders don't invent everything themselves. They orchestrate offers. This video is about how to lead a team that generates innovation together. By the end of this video, you're going to know how to lead innovation, not by micromanaging or by burning yourself out, but by building trust loops and creating innovation pathways. One of the most valuable things I've learned as I've been on this process of understanding innovation and how innovation works in organizations, and I've written a book about it called The Innovation Mindset, but what I've learned about innovation is that it really is not just about ideas. Innovation is truly a practice, and the people who humbly approach that practice from the perspective of learning how to be masterful at a practice, they're the ones who are able to lead successful innovation teams and be able to deliver amazing innovations. If you're looking to lead innovation, you might feel that you are under a lot of pressure to come up with ideas. If you understand innovation as a practice rather than an ideation machine, what you will do is you will approach it as you approach any other practice, with humility, with ambition to grow your mastery in the practice, and with an understanding that practice requires that you do something consistently, persistently, and pretty much every day. So you move your role as an innovation leader away from the pressure to always be the visionary to someone who's actually building out an ecosystem of equally capable innovators, and you are helping them orchestrate themselves in a way that allows them to be able to think together, to design together, to build trust with each other, to build on top of each other's ideas, and to be able to bring forward a whole set of new practices into a marketplace that will value that enormously. I've talked in other videos about the innovation loop, and you can see it here. The innovation loop looks to help people understand the generative or atomic element of innovation, which is the commitment between two people to deliver satisfaction for each other based on a request or an offer that is made. I talk about it in terms of develop, design, deliver, and declare. There are 4 quadrants. If you deeply understand this, and you understand that people are in conversation with each other all day, every day, looking to create value for each other, the more that they can understand each other's perspectives and each other's interpretations, the more they can add value for each other. The practice of sitting down with a customer and developing something, developing an offer for them, and then designing that together, negotiating that together, is something that is incredibly valuable for helping people to be able to think independently, to be able to build trust with each other, to be able to listen for what matters to each other, and really to be able to put themselves in a position where they're coming up with innovation, where they're coming up with newness, where they're coming up with value for each other in a way that allows them to be able to think of themselves as innovators at that absolutely micro level. You, as the leader of an organization where that is a fundamental building block, it allows you to be able to start thinking of the work that goes on in your organization as a network of these conversations, or a network of commitments that people are making to each other. Your role then becomes building the ecosystem around that incredibly valuable, that incredibly creative, that incredibly generative, and ultimately incredibly innovative network of commitments. You're building out the ecosystem that will allow these people to be able to do that work in a way that is really generative and is really adding value. Failure and trust and cycles of trial and error are really important in this process. I've talked in other videos about the importance of failure in innovation. As an ecosystem builder and an ecosystem designer, what you're looking to do is you're looking to be able to create a space in which people can actually fail. and when they can fail fast and they can learn from that failure and they can move through failure and experimentation without assigning blame or shame. You're the person who's actually building the ecosystem around them, and you're modeling that as a practice. I have never found that blame and shame led to anything remotely like innovation. I have found that building trust, building understanding, building listening is foundational for innovation as a practice. Google's Project Aristotle actually identified trust as the #1 factor in building high-performing teams or innovative teams. One of the things that you can do as innovation leader is really cultivate a culture of making offers. Now, that sounds an awful lot simpler than it really is. Most people are used to receiving requests. They're used to being told what to do. They're used to someone basically giving them a to-do list. Even as a leader in an organization, you're used to receiving KPIs and OKRs. One of the ways to really shift that from your team being a group of order takers, and sometimes you being an order taker, is for you to actually start thinking about what are the offers that we want to make to our internal customers, to our external customers, to our counterparts in other departments. And as you start doing that, what you'll start seeing is you begin a conversation around offers. You solicit offers, you encourage offers, and you begin to start helping people understand how to be able to see the world in a more complex, more sophisticated, more agile way. So one of the ways to really begin to institute this in just simple meetings, you finish a meeting, and rather than having someone look at what are the tasks that are assigned at the end of the meeting, that what you're looking at doing is you're looking at saying, some of the things that aren't working. We've had some issues within our organization. We've had some issues delivering to some of our internal customers. Who would like to make an offer to try and understand what is going on there? And you're encouraging people to begin to make offers to solve problems that are directly impacting them. I often ask the question, what new offers are you exploring when I meet someone? And I've known them for a little while, obviously we have some background, but I'll often say to them, what new offers are you exploring? And so what I'm doing in there as I talk to people, particularly people who have worked for me over the years, I'm beginning to understand what their focus is, what they're interested in, what they care about, what they want to make happen. It's an incredibly powerful way of beginning to build the innovation conversation in your organization and to lead innovation through modeling it yourself. As people who are technical people or scientific people or who are looking to bring innovations to market, lots of times we're really crummy at declaring completion on work that we're doing. When I talk about the loop that I mentioned earlier, the loop is actually a full cycle. And declaring satisfaction and declaring completion and then declaring satisfaction are really important elements of this work, because what it does is it opens up the door for feedback to happen within the system. If you really want to be able to lead innovation, you have to commit to being on a constant learning cycle. You have to commit to be able to receive feedback. You have to commit to be able to do the design work with your customers to make sure that they are satisfied and learn from when it doesn't work how to do it more effectively the next time. Leading innovation is both a privilege and a pretty significant challenge. As you're embarking on this process, and I admire the hell out of you for doing it, because this is obviously something that is very important to me and near and dear to most of the work that I've done for my entire career. There's another video that I think that would really help you with this process, is how to encourage innovation in a team. As you start thinking about your role as an innovation leader and you look to lead innovation in your organization, step #1, as I started this video talking about, is how to encourage innovation in your team. Worth watching this video. If this video and the next one help you, please let me know. Ask me questions in the comments. I look at them regularly. I do respond personally, and I'd love to hear how you're doing with your ambition to become an innovation leader. I admire you and respect you for that. I'm here to support you, and I wish you the best of luck with it. Take care.